Well, if you live long enough, you get to see everything. So I am going to do some mocking laughter, but I want to be very clear. This is a human tragedy. It is very sad. However, I am not going to lie. This really shows the hypocrisy of all these people. The conservative Cubans, those anti-communist Cubans. Oh, we love libertad and humanity. Yeah. They don't care about that. It shows the sheer racism and hypocrisy of the U.S. leadership, which has always been like this, right? Very brutal. It doesn't care about these people, never cared. It's all laughable. So I'd actually give Trump a big point of being just more brutally honest that, yeah, people led into this country, whether refugees, immigrant, they are here to serve the leadership. You're not a citizen, you're a guest. You're a guest who's going to be here by convenience. That is it. You don't have any real rights. You never had any real rights. So this is a very weird case. So somebody in Lafayette, apparently a very, very old Cuban man who came into America over 40 years ago, is now about to be deported. So ICE picked this man up in Lafayette, and apparently he knew. So he told his daughter, who's pleading for help. Now listen, I do feel sorry for this family. However, let's be very clear about what is happening, what is not happening. They're not even opposing Trump. They're saying, oh, no, there's some bad people. You can send them back. That's not the way it works, honey. Okay? So I'm going to be very brutal to all sides. Listen, either you have fundamental rights or you don't. You either believe in this or you don't. Clearly, she doesn't. She's like, no, send them back. Yes, but not my father. Why is your father special? Oh, he raised a good family. He obeyed the law. He went to the church. Oh, I see. He's conservative. So the conservative people get special rights. No, you don't. You don't. But it does seem he's a good guy, raised his family, worked hard. None of that matters. None of it mattered. And by the way, there's hypocrisy on all sides. All sides. Trump didn't care about this issue. He wasn't an anti-communist. He didn't care. He could care less. But guess what? Only 8 short years ago, he's like, oh, the evil of Castro. Oh my God, Cuba. Oh my God, it's a hell. It's a living hell. Stop it. You're evil, evil Castro, evil communism. Okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. So you're saying, which is true. Let's be very clear. I'm on the left, but a lot of people on the left are a little flaky on Cuba. Cuba is an authoritarian regime. Okay, repression of rights is real. It does happen. Now, is it the worst? No, it's not the worst. I mean, people are getting too much high in the propaganda. It is not the worst country. Come on, wake up and smell the coffee. However, there is repression. So let's take the best case scenario. This person was fleeing repression. Okay, this does not make any sense. So according to Trump, Cuba, oh my God, it's so horrible, it's so evil. Well, then obviously you should leave. Yes. Where are they going to go, Donald? I don't know. Australia, heaven? I don't know. Don't come here. So Trump is on record that Cuba is a living hell. Okay. Well, obviously, any normal human being would want to leave there and go to the U.S. But it's like, no, we're going to send you back. No, don't come here. So the policy with Cuba has always been clear. Is Cuba useful to the U.S.? Period. Not the people. We don't care about the people or its resources, its vote in the UN. That's the importance. Where is it politically aligned? How is it useful to us? Right. That's the real truth. What Castro did is he was making the country independent. We don't like that. We're going to punish it. And we're going to punish the people. We're not punishing the leadership. We're going to do both. We're going to attack the leadership and the people. That's been the policy now for over 50 years. This didn't just start yesterday. It's been policy for over 50 years. It even continued under Obama. People have this weird illusion with Obama. No, Obama was still allowing spies into Cuba. Yeah, they're still trying to overthrow the government. There we are. Now, I'm not here to idealize the Cuban leadership. They have their own goals. It is what it is, right? The Cuban population is being victimized by the leadership in Cuba and the leadership here. But in this country, for some reason, people think, oh my God, this evil Cuban communists, oh my God, they're so evil. They don't believe in liberty. Oh my God, oh my God. Well, neither does Trump. I would give Trump credit here. He's being brutally honest. The issue is, are these people helpful to me? He's made a determination, which is weird because the Cubans are, for the most part, they're very conservative. They're very pro-Republican. And listen, from my own personal experience, a lot of them are pretty racist. So they thought they were special. They really did. This policy has been done to Haitians, Jamaicans, Central Americans, even people in South America. They got the wrong skin color. See, they're a little too obvious. It's a little too easy to find out that they're, on the wrong side. The Cubans, they're, if they look European enough, they have a strange tendency to identify as white, which they do. I've seen this up front. Yeah. You even have fake Cuban people out there. Yeah, there are Hispanic people pretending to be Cuban because they think it's higher in the hierarchy. Well, now they've gotten a rude awakening that you're just like everyone else. You're not special. So unless you're extremely rich or extremely well connected, you're vulnerable. So I do feel sorry for this family, and I get it. The daughter has to do whatever she can to save her father. I get that. But really, honey, wake up. They're not doing anything extraordinary here. This has happened before. You know this, and I know this. So now pleading, oh my God, he's such a nice father. He took care of his family. He reads the Bible. None of that mattered. It never mattered. They don't care about communism. They don't care about liberty. We're trading with China. What happens here is if the money matters, the money matters. If you have enough money, believe me, I'm sure Trump would like to talk to you. If you're a multimillionaire, multi-billionaire, you have a place at the table. Do you have that kind of resource? If you don't, well, he'll tell you to shut up. I'm not telling you to shut up. I do think we should have some fundamental rights for all human beings. However, good or bad, these rights can be negotiated. So I think the better policy would be, let's try to have a fair policy for both sides. Let's be very clear here. The Biden administration was not better. They're filled with racists and morons too. What they did is they prioritized the corporations. Trump is prioritizing, frankly, being a racist nationalist. It's what it is, right? So if you're from the right country, Russia, which has a lot of white people, he's like, please come here. Guys, yeah, South Africa, oh, yes, you're very welcome. Please come. Oh, Cuba, sorry, you're not pure enough. So I can lament the policy. I think it shows Trump is what he is. He's a nationalist. He's a racist nationalist. However, we got to be honest here. He is being consistent. If you're from the wrong countries, you go back. If you're from the right countries, you come here. It's not about immigration. It's about, are you useful to the U.S. leadership? And this very old Cuban man is not useful to them. So guess what? They're going to get rid of him. Now, I will say it would be heartbreaking because let's be very clear. If he does get forced back into Cuba, good or bad, the Cuban leadership could. They probably won't do it, and they're not crazy, but they could. They could just send him back to jail. And you're like, well, there you go. So this is going to be a testing time for a lot of people. Do you believe all human beings have certain rights? Now, we can debate what those rights are, but if you don't believe that, this is what it is. Then you only think rights matter if you're from the right class, from the right race, from the right ideology. So either human rights matters or they don't. And unfortunately, in this current era, it seems the vast majority of people, not just in Cuba or the US, most people now think, yeah, fundamental human rights, yeah, I really don't care about that. And that's where we are now. And unless we have this genuine belief in those rights, this is what's going to keep happening. It's a tragedy what's happening to this family, but really, were you not reading the leaves? Trump was very clear here. If he got back into power, yeah, you're going to be deported too. It is what it is. So I feel sorry for this family, but really, we saw all of this coming a long time ago.